Hello and welcome to your hourly update. I'm Siobhan Maguire. The Manchester United class of 92 legends are rumoured to be in talks to buy Salford City Football Club. It is rumoured the club will be renamed to Salford 92 with a target of 15 years to reach Championship football level. Meanwhile, Ryan Giggs has been talking to Quays News about who will win the Premier League. Simon Reed's radio adaptation of Michael Morpurgo's Private Peaceful will feature on the BBC as a part of Lights Down, Listen. It will take place on Saturday in the Imperial War Museum. The drama stars Nicholas Lyndhurst as Sergeant Stanley and the author himself as the vicar. Scientists say they have new evidence that autism begins in the womb. Changes in the developing brain long before birth may cause symptoms of autism spectrum disorder, according to new research. Sir Peter Fahey, Greater Manchester Police Chief Constable, ensured that calls from victims of domestic violence will be taken seriously. His comment was posted on the Greater Manchester Police website following earlier allegations about the quality of response to such cases. A study has found that lovers in the northwest are letting technology get in the way of their sex lives. Over the past few years, we have seen a boom in the number of gadgets available to the public. A survey has found that 1 in 6 people from the region have actually answered their phones or read a message whilst in the throes of passion. 5% have even admitted to checking their Facebook page. Turkey has now suspended access to YouTube for citizens. An earlier ban on Twitter has since been overturned, but the Turkish Prime Minister has accused social media of spreading misinformation. He suggested that a similar sanctions could be applied to other social media sites. You may have heard of Godzilla, but what about Ratzilla? This giant rodent, measuring 40 centimetres plus tail, appeared in the kitchen of a family in Sweden. The rat devoured leftovers before eventually being killed by pest control using an oversized trap. That's all for now. Over to Helen with the latest weather.
Thanks, Siobhan. The rain is well and truly settling for the night in the northwest. Thankfully, some better weather is to come at the weekend. Highs are around 6 degrees tonight, but the rain will be continuous throughout, easing off into tomorrow morning. Wind will be quite light, but it will bring a chilly feel with it. Tomorrow morning will start much as today will finish, with heavy scattered showers throughout. The winds will have picked up, meaning it will feel very cool outside, especially along the coast. So now we're going over to Texas, where the weather is looking miserable and wet.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for this week's special edition of News One as we join the Global News Relay here at West Texas A&M University in Canyon, Texas. I'm Case Wilbanks.
And I'm Kate Bradford. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention says the H1N1 flu continues to cause a lot of illness across the country, and WT is no exception. Student Medical Services reports a large number of students coming in with the flu. They say if you believe you have the flu, medication needs to be taken within 48 hours or it won't work. Students are encouraged to make an appointment with the clinic where they can then make a diagnosis and prescribe medication to treat the flu, as well as help control the symptoms. They also encourage students to get the flu vaccine. Although the flu isn't 100% preventable, there are steps to lessen the chances of plenty of rest, eat healthy, and avoid stress.
At this time last year, President Empers was running a campaign to become student body president, a campaign that took him to the top.
Because of his senior classification, he may be president for just a year, but he has been involved in student government since his freshman year at WT, following in the footsteps of his older sister.
My sister, too, was a student here at WT, and she was in student government and student senate. And so I did what she did. I got involved in that way, and I wanted to be able to serve the students.
One of the biggest ways he is serving the students is still in progress, a food pantry to provide food and resources to students in need, just one of the projects he hopes to complete before his term is up.
And then, too, the second major one that I'm really going to try and push for is forming a committee that focuses on WT's traditions and really trying to reassess what we do, things that we've possibly forgotten about, and resurrecting them, and really making sure that we're implementing them as new students are coming to our university and pushing for that.
Nippers hopes that the next student body president is just as committed and successful in representing students and West Texas A&M University. He also points out that the Student Senate has grown to its largest number of representatives, and that's why it's important to vote and elect somebody that you trust.
And as for students voting,
I haven't thought about it at all, really, just because I've been busy with schoolwork. Okay. But it's a possibility.
I plan to be voting, if I get the chance, most likely.
But no matter what, when all the votes are tallied, President Nippers
and other smoke-emitting tobacco. The new rule also bans smokeless tobacco as well as devices like e-cigarettes. President O'Brien said in a statement, he believes clean air is a common property. However, the use of this common property results in conflicts. Non-smokers assert their right to breathe clean, non-smoke-filled air. Smokers assert the right to smoke. To best accommodate the rights for both groups, I am asking each group to be respectful of each other.
Coming up after the break, we'll have more on WT's former president, in addition to big news for a now famous local coffee shop here in Canyon.
And later in the broadcast, we'll take a look at WT's multi-award-winning one-session productions. Don't go away. WT TV's News 1 will be right back after this.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
I got no balls for losing. Shocking. Drives it road all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We're just buzzed. Just buzzed? You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. You'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really? No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shocking.
This song was created with heartbeats of children in need. Find out how it can help frontline health workers bring hope to millions of children at everybeatmatters.org.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Barry Thompson, the 8th president of WT, passed away at his home in West Texas. Thompson served as president of WT for 4 years when it first became part of the Texas A&M University system in the fall of 1990 before becoming chancellor of the A&M system in 1994. After his time at WT, Thompson moved on to become president of Tarleton State University for 8 years. He was
of collegiate registrars and admissions officers, also known as the AACRAO. The AACRAO is the largest and oldest organization for enrollment service. 100 members and partners from more than 2,600 institutions, organizations, and education-oriented companies located in the United States and around the world.
Applications for the WT President's Ambassadors Program are now available in the President's office located in Old Main Room 302. Requirements for selection include being enrolled full-time at WT with a minimum 2.75 GPA. Students must have demonstrated campus involvement and leadership, be committed to the President's Ambassadors Program, and a willingness to meet attendance of event requirements. A recent article in USA Today named local coffee shop Palace Coffee Company as one of the top 10 places for a cup of coffee in the U.S. Palace Coffee opened almost 3 years ago and quickly became a favorite of WT students and Canyon residents alike. It operates with the goal of having friendly service while also serving a great cup of coffee. The article cited how Palace was able to mix the feel of small-town America with the style of a big city coffee house.
Coming up next, we'll have a special interview to learn more about CORE here at WT.
And later in the broadcast, we'll hear about a local student's recent time in the Ukraine. WT TV's News 1 will be back after this.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the money's gonna make. Helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today.
Oh, you should pick that up.
Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Or you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to News 1. I'm Marissa Rivera, reporter for the Prairie here on campus. Today we have Matt Maples with us, the Interim Director of Student Affairs for the Campus Organizations, Resource, and Entertainment Office, also known as the CORE Office. How does CORE try to help WT students in their college experience?
The CORE Office, working with student activities, and the CORE Office really works to try to do two things for students. One, we try to get students connected to campus. We want to get them connected to activities on campus and get them involved with different things and options that they can do on campus. We try to appeal to different interests and different preferences that students have to try to make an exciting environment for them while they're at WT. The second thing that we try to do is get students connected to one another. One of the primary ways that we do that is working with our close to 130 different student organizations. So we really try to push students to get connected to those organizations so they get connected to some other WT students.
What are some of the major CORE-sponsored events that the students can be on the lookout for during the year?
Well, some of the major events that we work with are like we'll have coming up International Week. So our international students will host several different events that we work with them on. That's coming up later this semester. Another event that we do that's a large event that we do at the end of each semester is University Honors. So this is an opportunity where the different departments, academic areas, and different offices and everything can come together, and we give out scholarship awards and some of the largest awards that we have at WT, like Man and Woman of the Year and Organization of the Year and so forth. But we also do a number of different concerts and events with distinguished speakers that we bring in and activities like that.
I know there's a big event coming up called Shackathon.
Yes.
Can you tell me CORE's involvement in that?
Our involvement with that is to really help the Religious Alliance. So we have our religious organizations have come together, and they put Shackathon on to help raise awareness for poverty in Sudan area, and they try to raise money for the people of Sudan. And what we try to do is we try to help them make their event a little bit better. So we provide a little bit of goat floats, are what they called. So ice cream and some refreshments and things like that, and try to help make their event a little bit better.
How do these events seem to impact students' lives or their experience here at WT?
Now, we believe that students who are engaged on campus, that they're connected to events and other people on campus, are more likely to continue their education. And we believe that finishing your education, getting your degree, will make a significant difference in your life overall. So I believe that you getting involved and you making those connections and relationships helps contribute to you graduating eventually.
How can organizations go about promoting their events through the CORE office?
Well, we try to keep an open door. So an organization, if they're working on an event or they have an idea, they're able to come into our office, and we would love to sit down with them, talk to them about their event, try to figure out what ways we might be able to help them be even better. We have some options that they can get some funding for their events. And we try to brainstorm with organizations and try to see what they want to accomplish and see how good we can make that together.
The Buff Activities Council is something that's also set up through the CORE office. Can you explain more about what the BAC is and their different committees?
Yes, the Buff Activities Council is a group of students that we have set up this year in order to help us try and make sure that we're connecting with students, to help us make sure that we're doing events that are interesting to students and help us try to connect with a various range of different types of events. So, for instance, we have an academic committee in the Buff Activities Council, and that academic committee is designed to really help us make sure that we're doing some events that are also connecting to academics, helping us build that bridge between having a good time at college, but also, thinking about how to better yourself and how to increase your mental abilities and everything else. We have an entertainment committee, so they do a lot of things that are designed to be like entertaining for students and help them have a good time and fun. Sports and activities are just trying to engage students physically and various things like that. So we try to leadership programs, peer education. We try to help find different ways to make students better.
So what would you say to students wanting to become more involved on campus?
I think one of the ways that students can get more involved on campus is they're welcome. We would love for them to come into our office and talk to us. Our office is the CORE office in the Jack B. Kelly Student Center. We're located directly across from the food court, so you can go and get some lunch and then come right over and talk to us. We'd love to talk with you. We also have a website that students can go to and find out a little bit more as well. So wtamu.edu/core is our main site, or if you go to wtamu.edu/orgs, you'll find a list of all of our campus organizations and a little bit about those organizations to see what might be the best fit for you.
Okay. Thank you for explaining to us about what the CORE office is. We'll be back in a moment.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry. Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Oh, those
Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
On February 26, a federal judge in Texas struck down the state's ban on same-sex marriage, claiming that the laws restricting marriage to a man and woman violated the United States Constitution. The decisions made by Judge Garcia was the latest in a series of decisions overturning bans on same-sex marriage in several states. WT Woods says that he thinks the ban is completely unconstitutional, and he feels it's an individual's choice, but the repeal doesn't really affect him right now because he is so young. But he is happy about what it will do for some gay couples he knows that are in long-term relationships.
This past weekend, WT received a blast from the past as the annual University Sing event was put on by the Corps. Let's take a look at Saturday's event.
One WT student may have gotten more than she bargained for when choosing her location to study abroad. Senior journalism major Daniela Fierro returned to the United States after spending a few months studying in a Ukrainian city about 300 miles east of Kyiv, where the violence has recently erupted. Fierro has been able to correspond with the Prairie and other local news stations throughout her time abroad, and has given firsthand insight regarding the military clashes and other issues currently happening in Ukraine. Fierro's study abroad program has decided that her and other students being evacuated can finish their courses online. Every year, international students living and working in the U.S. must submit a tax return with the IRS. Because the international students have a different tax situation, the ISO has purchased the tax software, Glacier Tax Prep, for students to use in preparation for their tax returns. It is important to note that Glacier Tax Prep can only be used by students considered non-residents for tax purposes. To create a Glacier account, visit online-tax.net, or for more information, visit wtamu.edu.
Coming up, we'll get an inside look at WT's award-winning One Sessions acoustic music production.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this.
It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to News 1. I'm Zach Barnes, and you're watching the Global News Relay. We have Kaylor Went from the One Sessions crew in studio with us. First of all, glad to see you. Good morning.
Oh, thank you for having me, Zach.
And give us a quick explanation. What is One Sessions?
One Sessions is where we bring in local artists or bands from the local Texas Panhandle area. We do a show with them. We shoot it. We record it. We do everything. We do the lighting, the audio. We set up the whole thing. Then we shoot it and record it, and then we submit it. Usually we make DVDs. We submit it for competition. But it's really cool. It's a really good experience to have.
Now, what is the student experience that you get out of it?
Oh, it's a phenomenal student experience. Students get hands-on experience doing everything, from doing the lights to set designing, from setting up the equipment to actually producing. I've been the technical director, so I've been in there switching. It's a really good experience, and it's something you won't get at other universities or even outside of school. It's a very rare experience to have.
Now, what's been one of your favorite One Sessions experiences?
One of my favorite, it had to been the one with Deep Diver. I was switching, and the director, Wilson Lemieux, he wanted to do the switch. He wanted to switch cameras on the beat, so he and I were in there like, we were grooving, and then on the beats I was switching. So that was probably my best experience with it. Was just the entire show, he and I were just in there jamming out and directing, so it was pretty cool.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. We have a few songs lined up just for you. This is Zach Wilkerson's performance on One Sessions, which has won multiple Telly Awards. Take a look.
Now she was just a baby, about 9 years old. First time she heard that music on her mama's radio. She started moving and a grooving, hit her deep down in her soul. Never since she found that Delta sound, she can't feel the blues no more. No, no. I would pop her up and left them one hot summer night. In a storm of screams and curses and the smell of cheap red wine. But when mama gets too lonely, baby know just what to do. She put on that record player and they danced with their blues. Their little muddy waters carry their blues away. Their little muddy waters carry their blues away. Mama met a dark-haired man with a $50 suit. Got a gold tooth in his greasy smile and a razor in his boot. He take mama dancing, baby, stay home all alone. Baby, put on that record, play and do some dancing of her own. Yes, she did. One day mama came on 15 shades of purple, black, and blue. That dark-haired man, he's a coward, and that's when baby knew she ever saw his face again, it'd be the last damn time. Mama cried herself to sleep that night, baby fall out to rambling mind. She little mud and waters carry your blues away. She little mud and waters carry your blues away. Now listen here. Next day that dark-haired man came knocking loud on Mama's door. And Mama said, go away, you fool, I don't want you anymore. But he put his hands on Mama and he flashed that golden tube. Baby knocked it out with a frying pan and pulled the razor from his boot. Oh, baby done killed that man. Well, the sheriff never came calling and no judge ever gave a damn. Turns out no one gonna miss a dark-haired coward man. So baby dragged him to the river where it runs wide and slow. Put him face down in the water, then she let that fool go. They let that muddy waters carry their blues away. They let that muddy waters carry their blues away. They let that muddy waters carry their blues away. They let that muddy waters carry their blues away.
I've got 3 awesome, beautiful kids at home, and I spent a lot of time on the road. So I was thinking about one day that I was driving to Lubbock, Texas at about 7 o'clock one night, and then I went and played my show, and we loaded back up, and I got back on the same road and was driving home at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it was funny to me that sometimes when you're driving you think, well, I was just here. You're right, because you double back and you have to go home. And I was thinking, I was just here. And it kind of hit me that, the road is kind of it's a double-edged blade, because it can take you away or it can bring you back. So I just kind of wrote that song, maybe as a quasi lullaby for my kids, you know, that when I'm gone, you know, I'll be right back home. I'll be as home as soon as I can, so. Well, this 4-lane highway's a double-edged blade. It can bring me home to you, or take me far away. But the miles and time, they add up either way. This 4-lane highway's a double-edged blade. My knuckles white on the steering wheel tonight. I hope the people like my sound. Hope the venue treats us right. 'Cause I'm out here giving this thing my best try. My knuckles white on the steering wheel tonight. Baby, be good when I'm gone. When I can, I'll come home. Don't cry too many tears while I'm away. This 4-lane highway's a double-edged blade. So I'm counting down the miles till I get home. 'Cause I hate the thought of you waking up alone. So I'm flying down this lonely blacktop road, counting down the miles till I get home. Baby, be good while I'm gone. When I can, I'll come home. Don't cry too many tears while I'm away. This 4-lane highway's a double-edged blade. So baby, be good while I'm gone. When I can, I'll come home. Don't cry too many tears while I'm away. This 4-lane highway's a double-edged blade. And the miles and time, they add up either way. This 4-lane highway's a double-edged blade.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry. Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Oh, no!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers. right now.
Bring this one.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Dr. Lisa David and Dr. Heidi Taylor, Associate Professors of Nursing at West Texas A&M University, will conduct an induction to integrative nurse coaching and nurse coach self-development program on Saturday, March 29th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. at Chalice Abbey in Amarillo. The one-day presentation will focus on the art and science of offering nursing professionals the opportunity to help patients achieve greater health potential by identifying goals and supporting behavioral and lifestyle changes.
The Canyon Chamber of Commerce now has a new executive director. Last Thursday, Cole Community Center hosted a meet and greet for Canyon native Robert Rimlinger. Though Rimlinger and his family have been in Arizona for the past 12 years, he says he is excited to finally be back home. Having only been executive director for a week, Melanie Garcia, administrative assistant for the Chamber of Commerce, says Rimlinger is already hard at work in the community, speaking with businesses and community members about his visions for the city of Canyon. Rimlinger says he looks forward to adding more town hall meetings to his agenda and making Canyon a more proactive community.
On April 9th, the WT Campus Ministers Alliance will host the annual Shackathon on the East Lawn of Old Main to entice people to give a goat and donate to help starving people in Africa. By donating $50, one can provide a goat for milk and meat purposes by covering the cost of the goat, veterinarian fees, minimal dairy business equipment, and delivery of the goat to the family in need. The event will be located on the lawn east of the Old Main building and will kick off at 8 a.m. Donations can be given to campus ministries or can be given online at wtgiveagoat.com.
The W.T. McNair Scholarship Program is accepting applications for its 2014 Summer Research Program. The program is designed to prepare students for doctoral studies through the involvement with summer recreation and scholarly activities. For more information, you can call 806-651-5295.
Proposed tuition rates and other upcoming changes have WT students wondering what to expect in the next year. WT officials have held 3 public hearings in the last few weeks to discuss this issue.
Start off with looking at the sources of revenue for the university. This year, FY...
On Monday at 5 o'clock at the Amarillo Center, WT held a public hearing on the proposed fee and tuition changes for the upcoming 2015 fiscal year. WT officials addressed the proposed changes, as well as an establishment of guaranteed tuition rates for undergrad students. Other proposed changes include accreditation fees, traffic and parking-related fees, and increasing the advising fee. The current advising fee is $35, and WT is proposing to increase that to $50 per student. By doing this, they can hire 3 more advisors and allow a more flexible schedule for student workers. The university will request authority from the A&M Board of Regents in May to increase tuition and fees. President O'Brien reassured students that this is a positive step in the right direction for the university and the students.
Now, WT is not alone in doing this. Every one of the 11 universities in the Texas university system is doing the same thing. It's already been approved for Texas A&M College Station. That was approved in January. For Galveston and for the Health Science Center. And for the remaining universities in the A&M system, the other 9, it's going to be up for consideration in May. And it will pass in some form to be compliant with HB 29. All the other universities, public universities in the state are doing the same thing.
Well, Savannah, the wind has picked up in the past couple of days. Do you have any good news for us coming up?
Well, the temperatures look like they're going to be relatively nice, but I don't see the wind dying down anytime soon.
All right, Savannah's going to have more of your forecast coming up after this.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. I'm Savannah Thackeray with your News 1 weather. Well, Tuesday was officially the first day of spring, but so far the forecast looks like it's not ready to give in to warm weather just yet. We're looking at a sunny week with temperatures fluctuating in the high 50s to mid 60s. As for the current temperature in Canyon, we are resting at a sunny 62 degrees. We have a northwestern wind blowing in at 27 miles per hour, which is part of a small cold front. Good news is it's not going to bring any snow, but it will drop the temperatures and keep today and tomorrow pretty chilly. Then tonight, the temperature is going to drop to a low 24 degrees. Although we're getting closer to that spring weather that we are anxiously waiting for, the evenings look like they're going to keep cooling down all the way to the mid-30s for the next week. So if you're going to be out and about in the evenings, be sure to keep a warm jacket on hand. Now let's take a look at the area highs for today. The highest temperature in the area will be Plainview with a sunny 66. The sun will also be out in Canyon, Amarillo, and Hereford, with temperatures hitting the low 60s. Borger, Pampa, and Dumas are going to be in the windy high 50s, low 60s, and Dalhart will bring in the lowest temp with a high of 54 and winds gusting at 27 miles per hour. Moving on to the 7-day forecast. The high today will be 63 with mainly sunny skies and winds moving northwest at 20 miles per hour. Friday will be cloudy with a high of 69 and low of 35. Saturday, mostly sunny in the 60s and a low of 32. Sunday will be partly cloudy, highs in the upper 50s and lows in the upper 30s. Monday, mostly cloudy with a high of 64 and low of 37. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds on Tuesday with highs in the upper 60s and a low of 39. Wednesday will be mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of some scattered showers, but the high will remain a warm 67 and lows in the lower 40s. We might also see a small chance of rain and snow Wednesday night. After Wednesday, averages look like they're going to stick around in the upper 60s, so maybe we'll start seeing more sunshine and warm temperatures. Well, that concludes our News 1 weather for today. Join us next week for more weather updates.
Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at Palo Duro Canyon State Park and see what WT's Outdoor Pursuits is doing to prepare for the warmer temperatures in our future. We'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're not in here.
Yes, I am.
Move! Give it to him hard!
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
On January 1st of this year, changes to the GED were put into place. The high school diploma equivalency test, known as the General Education Development, or GED, is now all electronic. The test is also more analytical in nature, and those preparing to take the new GED will have to practice critical thinking skills more so than basic memorization. In addition to an increase in the GED difficulty, there has been a price increase. The GED is updated roughly every 10 years to keep up with the changing standards in K-12 schools.
Three-time Olympic gold medalist Jackie Joyner-Kersee will be on the WT campus on Monday, March 24th. Joyner-Kersee is considered the world's greatest female athlete, and she will be speaking as a part of WT's Distinguished Lecture Series. The event will take place at 7 p.m. in Legacy Hall in the Jack B. Kelly Student Center. The lecture is free and open to the public.
Canyon is experiencing the first signs of spring with warm weather and clear skies. As the weather continues to get warmer, WT students can often find themselves bored on the weekends, not sure what to do and how they can take advantage of the warm weather. News 1's Tori Dinkfield has more on how you can be sure to soak up the sun.
Palo Duro Canyon is America's second largest canyon and is located 15 miles outside of town. It's a great place to spend an afternoon or even go camping for a quick weekend getaway. There are about 30 miles of marked trails in the park for different outdoor activities. Lindsay Dunson, who works for the trade post in Palo Duro, describes her favorite trail.
Been on the Peso de Rio, and it was actually a pretty good one. It's right along a riverbank, so it's not too far. It's about, I think, 2 miles round trip, and so it's right there off the river. So if you ever feel like you're really dehydrated or something, there's water.
Don't have any camping gear or a mountain bike to ride? Outdoor Pursuits, located right here on campus in the Virgil Hinson Activity Center, can hook up any student with the gear they need for the guaranteed lowest prices offered by any university program in the state of Texas.
All of our equipment that we have down there is great for camping as well as cycling. We have mountain bikes and road bikes, so you can ride on the trail, you can ride off trail if you'd like to.
The Outdoor Pursuits equipment room can be found at the back of the Activity Center's all-purpose room, under the Outdoor Pursuits banner. They are open Monday through Friday from 2 to 8 p.m. and are closed on the weekends. Britta Carlson, an Outdoor Pursuits worker, explains why she thinks renting equipment is such a good idea.
Students should rent items because it's way cheaper than buying it. Like, how often do you go camping? I don't go camping very often, so why would I want to own a tent? I could come rent one for super cheap, and then I don't have to worry about, like, making sure that I keep up with it and keep it from falling apart when it's just here and I can just come rent one.
For more information about renting equipment or Outdoor Pursuit trips, contact Bill Banks at 806-651-2353.
West Texas A&M University is starting a food pantry for students. The food pantry opens today and is available for all students. The hope is that groups on campus will help to organize and run the pantry. The main fundraiser for the event is the event known as Super Tuesday. At this event, anyone can pay $2 or donate 2 cans of food in exchange for a bowl of soup. The food pantry is expected to be open 2 days per week. However, when it is closed, students may ask someone in the core office to open it up for them.
A lot seems to be going on around campus, Case.
That's right, and we're going to have more of that coming up after the break.
Yes, and when we get back, we will have an interview about social work on campus before Taylor Stroud and Avery Taylor will be taking over for the last hour of our broadcast.
And we're looking forward to what's coming up, and we will have a lot more news to cover in the next hour, so don't go away. WT's News 1 will be back after this short break.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome home, man.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Hi, thanks for tuning back in. I'm Preston Thomas with The Prairie, and I'm here with Dr. Melody Loya. Hi, Dr. Loya.
Hi, Preston.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do here at the college.
I'm a professor of social work.
I teach social work classes and plan study abroad trips for my students.
All right. So you're part of the Go Global program, which is under the heading of Study Abroad.
Yes, I am. We're part of the College of Education and Social Sciences. We have a dean that's been very supportive of study abroad experiences, so he developed this very organized program that faculty can lead short-term programs and take our students abroad for learning opportunities.
So what trips do you have planned for students right now?
Right now we have trips planned to Spain and Morocco that the dean is going to lead with a number of other faculty beginning in June. And then I have a trip to Costa Rica planned with social work students, and we'll travel over May intercession.
And what do the students do when they're abroad?
It depends on the trip, but the students on my trip will be going and visiting social service agencies. We'll be doing comparative social policy. We will meet clients in Costa Rica that are receiving the services that we want to learn about. So the purpose of my trip is to get a different view of social work.
So do these trips focus more on students in the College of Education and Social Science, or do you branch out to other colleges at WT?
I think it's primarily geared towards the College of Education and Social Sciences and the degree plans that are housed within that college. However, we don't turn students away. If they're interested in coming along and learning about social work, then I would certainly talk to them about how it could fit into their degree plan. The trip that the dean has planned in June to Spain and Morocco incorporates political science, but also incorporates the arts programs. And so students that are interested in art history, for example, can go and learn about the art in Spain and Morocco.
What do these students do to prepare for these trips?
We have mandatory pre-travel orientations, and so my students are doing coursework throughout this semester, studying about the country they're going to go to, learning about staying in a Costa Rican home. They're learning about social welfare policies and reviewing literature, scholarly literature, before we go to look at the research that's been done. So we're learning all about immigration policies in Costa Rica, so then we can compare those policies to our own policies here. We're also learning a little bit of survival Spanish before we go.
So do you get good feedback from the students? Do they enjoy these trips?
We get excellent feedback from the students because they're getting an experience that you can't get in the classroom, and that's the whole purpose. It has to be more than just going on a tour with a syllabus. It needs to be something that is meaningful, that is well planned and well thought out. It has to have concrete learning objectives, and so the students come back and talk about having life-changing understanding about themselves and about culture, but especially about the global nature of our world. For example, last time we went to Costa Rica, we learned a lot about the history of U.S. involvement in Latin America, and so the students saw the results of some of the policies, good and bad, that the United States has been a part of. And so I think they get a global picture that they can't get anywhere else. They also step outside their comfort zone when nobody speaks their language.
So about how much do these trips cost the student?
There's a wide range of trips. So $2,000, $3,000. It really depends on the trip and how long it's going to last and what the experiences are going to be while students are abroad.
And does the Study Abroad program or Go Global do anything to help students that might need financial aid for this?
There are some scholarships available through Study Abroad. All of the students at WT pay a Study Abroad fee, and that goes into a pot of money that scholarships can be awarded from that pot of money as long as students are in good academic standing. So there is a little bit of financial aid help. There's also student loans, and I think one of the few times it's worth taking out a student loan is to go abroad because you can't learn it here.
Okay. What kind of process do professors and faculty have to go through to get one of these trips organized? What kind of things do they look at?
We pick an area we want to go to based on the learning objectives of the course. So ideally, I'm going to look at a country that's going to meet the aims of the course and the things that I want my students to learn. Then we actually do a site visit to that country and set up all of our contacts and interview providers or interview people that we want to visit with, set up homestays through providers. So we do the groundwork a year ahead of time, and then we take students usually the following year on that trip.
Okay, and you said you do the homestays through a third-party provider. They kind of set things up for you?
Generally, that works best because then you have someone on the other end who knows their families, and they're working with their families, and they've screened their families.
Do you get a lot of help from people that live there or any kind of connections you have with that country?
I have been really fortunate in using excellent third-party providers, so I like contracting with an agency that has the contacts there. The things that they can do for me, it would take me weeks to set up a visit with an agency, and I'm not bilingual, and so I don't have the Spanish skills to contact people, so I contract with someone who helps me with all of that.
Okay. And what kind of plans does Go Global have for the future?
We are hoping to go to the Dominican Republic. We will probably return to Costa Rica at some point. We have faculty members interested in setting up return trips to India, but also setting up a new trip to Hong Kong, perhaps going back to New Zealand. So we've been a lot of places, and so our goal is to have a rotation of trips where students can plan ahead and know, okay, we're going to New Zealand in 2017. I want to go on that trip, and they can start saving their pennies now.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Loya.
Thank you, Preston.
And thank you for watching. Tune back in after this commercial break.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's going to bring it home. Mama's going to bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Oh, Mom!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
Bring this one.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry.
Pass the honey? 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Good evening, and thank you again for joining us for Hour 2 of this special edition of News 1 at West Texas A&M University here in Canyon, Texas. I'm Taylor Stroud.
And I'm Avery Taylor.
In 2016, the SAT is scheduled to implement some major changes. The collegeboard.org says, quote, the redesigned SAT will focus on the knowledge and skills that current research shows are most essential for college and career readiness and success. Some of the changes include offering the exam in both print and digital formats. A major change in the vocabulary. The exam will be more analytical in nature, and there will no longer be penalties for incorrect responses.
First instituted in 2005, Readership WT has become a tradition for all freshmen at WTAMU. One book is selected every year for readership. Students are encouraged to read and write an essay about the book so they can experience the transition from high school to college. This past semester, Wine to Water, written by Doc Henley, was the Readership WT selection. In this book, Henley talks about providing clean water to third world countries. 11 out of the 300 essays were selected as winners. Students who are awarded will be going to Uganda in March to help the author with ongoing water projects there.
Former speechwriter for President Obama, Jon Favreau, recently canceled his speech at WT due to illness. Dr. Trudy Hansen asked Mass Comm alumni Kirk Scarborough to give a presentation for Comm Week in place of Favreau's absence. His ability to capture the audience was quite astounding. Newsroom reporter George Lozano has more on the story.
Comm Week, a place to have fun, make new friends, and get connected, started off wonderfully. Students gathered in the JBK Legacy Hall Tuesday evening, awaiting this year's guest speaker.
WT students eagerly awaited for the arrival of Jon Favreau, the former speechwriter for President Barack Obama. Shortly after realizing that he was ill and had the flu, WT had to make some hasty decisions in finding someone new, and they found Kirk Scarborough. He is the Director of Internal Communication at Teach for America, and surely he gave a speech that left us very impressed. Take a look.
And I'm so thankful that I'm able to be in a position that gets to redirect people's eyes to what our work is ultimately about, and it's about our students.
With giant time restraints, he was able to capture the WTAMU audience by using past videos that he made, and he told his story.
Talking to Dr. Hansen, she wanted me to tell about my story. And thankfully, no one knows my story better than myself, and it's a lot of stories that I've told to my friends and told to my family already. So I was able to dip into some of the repertoire that is natural to me. In the last 24 hours, I threw together a Prezi. I pulled some videos that I've made over the past few years, and came up with some rough bullet points that I'm going to talk to tonight.
While at WT, Scarborough had learned to balance his life and learned that WT is filled with great opportunities, such as student body president. It was an honor to have Scarborough at WT, and he gave the students a little learned wisdom to take home with him.
What I learned really early on from my freshman and sophomore year at WT is opportunities arise that are really unexpected that you really need to take.
Scarborough loves WT and the supporting staff. WT students were happy to find that Scarborough also had a great sense of humor. I'm George Lozano with WTTV News 1.
WT hosted the first screening of the National Endowment for the Humanities with a series titled Created Equal America's Civil Rights Struggle. The series traces the story of the civil rights movement throughout American history. A portion of the document, The Loving Story, was played, which is one of 3 nationally acclaimed documentaries that will be shown throughout the series. Dr. Marty Kuhlman, professor of history at WT, facilitated a discussion on The Loving Story. For more information on the Created Equal series, contact Mary Jarvis at 806-651-2225. Coming up after the break, we'll have an interview from WTAMU's University radio station, KWTS.
And later in the broadcast, we'll hear from Tiffany Sharpenstein on WT Athletics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on line.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Welcome back to News 1. I'm Avery Taylor, and you're watching the Global News Relay. West Texas A&M students participate in a unique fundraiser by living in a cardboard shack for 24 hours. The KWTS morning show, AM in the AM, took a closer look with this live interview.
Listening to KWTS, the 191.1. This is AM in the AM. That was the Joy Formidable. And in the studio with us is Shackathon representative Jessica Morrow, and she's here to tell us a little bit about Shackathon. It's a really cool thing. So we'll start from the beginning. For those of our listeners who maybe haven't heard of it ever, what is Shackathon?
Well, Give a Goat Shackathon is an event that the WT Ministry Alliance puts together. It's part fundraiser, part awareness opportunity. The Give a Goat part is a fundraiser to raise money to give goats to the nation of Turkana, who is in extreme poverty. And then the Shackathon aspect of the event is just to raise awareness for how they live. WT organizations build shacks and stay in them, and we make our own little shanty town on Old Maid Lawn. And it's just a great opportunity for students to be aware of what's happening in places other than the Panhandle of Texas.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of things are very easy to overlook. A lot of big issues like this, but it is fun. I've done it. I did it last year, and you kind of get to come up with your own theme and things like that. It's really fun. Like, there was one last year I remember that was they made the house from Up with the balloons and stuff.
How adorable.
Like, it was the coolest. It was like, hello,
yeah.
You're the most creative.
And you guys actually stay in them overnight, right?
Yeah, overnight. You sleep in it, you hang out with your friends who helped build it, and it's really fun. Other than raising awareness, which is an awesome opportunity, it's just a really good time.
Wow.
There you go. It's a win-win. So, if I'm not mistaken, this is mostly an organizational type thing. Like, your organization will get together to build your shack, right? It's not really an individual thing.
Well, I think if you have enough people that aren't affiliated with an organization and y'all just want to build a shack, like, we're all for that. You just have to sign up at the JBK table. You can do that March 24th through 28th and March 31st through April 3rd. Shackathon is actually going to take place on April 9th. So any time before that, there'll be a table in the JBK with Mock Shack, and you can just sign up there, you and a group of friends, you and your organization, to build a shack and have a good time and raise money for the people in Turkana to have goats.
Yeah.
That's a very cool thing. Very cool. And we said it's been a tradition at WT for, 6 years now?
Yeah, 6 years.
Cool. So be part of that tradition. That's pretty awesome. So, again, the date of the event is April 9th, and the deadline to sign up, you can do that March 24th through the 28th, and what was the second?
March 31st through April 3rd. But also, if you just, on a whim on that day, want to go get signed up, or the couple days before, there will be headquarters outside on Old Main's lawn where you can sign up and get your pallets and build your shack.
Cool. They're not going to deter you. Okay, one question. Will you be staying overnight in your shack?
Oof. Well, because last year it was like 25 degrees, right? It was super
freezing.
cold.
I think the year before it was raining. It just has not been a good last couple of years for Shackathon. But this year, I regret to say I probably will not be staying overnight.
Okay.
I know, loser. But I'm a part of the WT production of Macbeth, and we open the day after. So, I mean, it may be essential that I get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. But
understandable.
That's a good reason.
Understandable. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, Jessica, and best of luck with all the planning and the pre-event process that goes on. I know you guys work really hard. And you guys be sure to get signed up, get your organization involved, and support this awesome cause, raise some awareness. So thanks. Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Up next in the mix, we have Music Go Music and Super Glue. You guys be sure to tweet us your requests at Wake Up with AM or call us at 806-651-2911. And keep it locked to the station for your generation, the 191.1.
Buff athletics seem to be in full force, Tiffany.
They are, and the Buffs and the Lady Buffs are all playing really well all around right now.
That's great. We'll have more sports on News 1 with the Global News Relay after this short break.
I got no balls for losing. Shocking shows it road all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We just buzzed. Just buzzed? You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. You'll be fine. I feel good. Really? No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shocking.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
The Lady Buff softball team is off to a great start. In fact, that might be a bit of an understatement. News 1 sports reporter Martha Alvarez has more.
Schaefer Park, the home of the Lady Buff softball team every spring. This 2014 season, the Lady Buffs are making serious noise by having the best start in program history. Perfect season with a record of 17-0. If that wasn't enough, they locked down the number 2 spot this past weekend when they were just ranked number 8 just a few weeks ago.
We came in January with a good mindset, and I'm really proud of where they are as a team right now. We're playing really good softball, obviously. Our pitchers have done a great job early, but now Our offense is really swinging the bat well. So I'm very happy with our team environment and the way we've embraced the fact that we're one of the top teams in the country, and that's an expectation for us day in and day out.
This season, several Lady Buffs are making headlines of their own. Rita Hokiana has had various strikeouts in double digits and was named LSE Co-Pitcher of the Week.
I think everyone has that motivation to try to do as much as they can for our team. And I have high expectations for myself and for the team to do as much as I contribute and what they contribute as well.
The Lady Buff softball team is looking to extend their streak to 20-0, facing Midwestern State this weekend with a 3-game matchup. Coach Belowski said that the key to winning these games is just to take it one game at a time. With News 1 Sports, I'm Martha Alvarez.
The WT women's golf season is in full swing. We went out to the course to catch up with them and see how their season is progressing. Let's take a look.
The WT Lady Buff golf team entered the 2013-2014 season following an 8-of-15 team finish and a top 10 finish in their 4 tournaments. They opened the season at the Lady Rattler Roundup in San Antonio, where they finished 9th, but they quickly bounced back at the California Baptist University Invitational, finishing 3rd, beating Midwestern State by just 3 strokes.
This team practices really, really hard, and they will do whatever it takes outside of practice, going out on their own, studying mental books, things like that, to be able to succeed. To prep for the Cal Baptist tournament, the girls literally made thousands of putts at important distances, like 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet. And so being able to make all those putts, it really boosted their confidence going into the Cal Baptist tournament.
2012 LSE Conference champ Glory leads the team this season as a sophomore, as she has 1 medalist honor, along with 2 runner-up finishes and 1 third-place finish. This week, she was named LSE Women's Golf Player of the Week.
I still have some things that I kind of still not that good, like putting and stuff. My focus is I just want to play good, and that's it.
The next time they'll play will be at the Midwestern Invitational on March 17th and 18th. With News 1, I'm Martha Alvarez.
The basketball team cut down another net last night as they defeated Colorado Mesa to be named the South Central Regional Champions. The Lady Buffs will advance to the Elite 8 tournament next week in Erie, Pennsylvania. This past weekend, WT's women's track and field team made history with their best ever national finish at 16th overall. They will move to their outdoor schedule this weekend at McMurray in the Warhawk Classic. Switching gears to the Diamond, the Buffs baseball team will head to Stephenville next week to take on Tarleton State in a 4-game series.
Wow, the Buffs athletes are really busy this time of year, Tiffany.
Absolutely, and they're each doing well in their respective leagues.
All right. Well, coming up next, we'll have more on WT's One Sessions production. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this break.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
This song was created with heartbeats of children in need. Find out how it can help frontline health workers bring hope to millions of children at everybeatmatters.org.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
If you were enrolled in college last year, you may be eligible for some important tax benefits. According to applytexas.org, you or your family may be eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit, the American Opportunity Tax Credit, as well as a dependent exemption and the tuition and fee deduction. If you file your own taxes or you have a tax preparer, you can check to see if you are eligible for those benefits. For more information about other financial aid, you can complete a free application for federal student aid at .fasfa.gov.
Canyon's annual Chamber Dinner and Rewards Celebration is coming up this Saturday at the Alumni Banquet Hall. There will be a reception at 5:30 p.m., followed by dinner at 6:30 p.m. The event is open to the public, however, seating is by reservation only. The cost is $35 per person, and you can purchase your reservation online at canyonchamber.org or by contacting the Chamber of Commerce at 806-655-7815. A recent article in USA Today named local coffee shop Palace Coffee Company as one of the top 10 places for a cup of coffee in the U.S. Palace Coffee opened almost 3 years ago and quickly became a favorite of WT students and Canyon residents alike. It operates with the goal of having friendly service while also serving a great cup of coffee. The article cited how Palace was able to mix the feel of small-town America with the style of a big city coffee house.
The One Sessions won 12 awards in this year's annual Telly Awards competition. Produced by the Broadcasting and Electronic Media program at West Texas A&M University, the One Sessions is an acoustic music show completely done by WT students. The show won 11 bronze awards and 1 silver award. The winning show, featuring Zach Wilkerson, was produced in April 2013 by WAMU students and was shot entirely in high definition in the university's AT&T High Definition Studio. The program will host its next One Sessions on April 3rd at 7 p.m.
Coming up next, we'll talk more about the Allison Ford Project and their upcoming event.
We'll also have more on the WT Food Pantry, so don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork, loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
You're not in here. Yes, I am. Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to News One. I'm Megan Moore, co-editor at The Prairie here at WT. Today my guest is Dr. David Lust, Assistant Professor of Agriculture, and we'll be talking about the Prime 1 cloning project here at WT. Could you tell us a little bit about how the project was started at WT and who was involved?
Yes, Megan, thank you. Our project started with our meat scientist, Dr. Ty Lawrence, and he has a crew of WT students that travel the country collecting information from beef cattle carcasses. And so he sees all the variation that we have in the beef industry in the United States. And here at WT, we're very aware that world population is moving towards 9 billion in 2050, and that we have to drastically increase food production in order to feed the world. And we want to be part of that, and we actually want to be leaders in that effort. And so the Prime 1 comes from our U.S. grading system. The Prime grade in our beef cattle is the quality grade, and that's the highest level of eating quality in our beef. That's about the tenderness and the juiciness and the flavor of the beef, and that's the Prime is the highest grade. Another grade is called the yield grade, and yield grade 1 represents the leanest and the beef and that has the most muscle. And it's rare that that one animal has both of those grades. In fact, it's about 1 in 3,000 cattle in the U.S. that would be both of those grades at the same time. So those are the carcasses that Dr. Lawrence and his crew selected. And then our team, Dr. Dean Hawkins, our department head, along with some industry partners, worked on taking DNA from those carcasses to develop the clones. Along the way, we did some additional DNA characteristics that would tell us about the growth efficiency of the animals. So our goal is to produce the very best beef quality and the very best beef animal, but to do so very efficiently. And so this allows us to do this. So the carcasses that were actually cloned represent about 1 in 15,000 of the animals in our population would fit our criteria. And so that's how we got started.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the students play a role in the project?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're extremely proud of our students. Dr. Lawrence has a crew of about 15 to 20 undergraduate and graduate students at all times that work here, and they actually travel with him and are in the industry, in the plants, looking at carcasses and doing research on the beef industry and beef characteristics as part of our Beef Carcass Research Center. And so they were involved in the initial selection of the carcasses. They've been involved in every step of the way as the pregnancies developed and as our calves were born. We have a crew out at the WT Ranch where the calves were born that took great care of the calves around the clock when they were born, because they're kind of rare, they're kind of neat. And so it's a fantastic experience for our students in raising the animals and being involved in the selection process. And in addition, in many of our classes, many of our agricultural classes, we will talk about the cloning project and use that as a way to help explain reproductive biology, genetics, meat science, and really agriculture and our whole food system.
What goes into the cloning process?
The cloning process involves taking DNA from an animal and then creating an embryo, and that is the science that is done with one of our partners, Biogen Labs. And of course, we've had cloned animals since 1996. Of course, USDA has approved cloned animals to enter our food supply. They're just genetic twins of the animal that donated the DNA. And so an embryo is developed that is a genetic copy of the source material, and then through embryo transfer, that embryo transfer is placed in a surrogate cow, and she carries the pregnancy, and then a calf is born. And so we end up with an animal that is just a genetic twin of the original DNA donor.
What is the ultimate goal of the project?
Well, our goal is to really create a new genetic line of beef cattle that would have a much greater likelihood of combining those three things that we're looking for: the eating quality, the leanness and muscling, and then the feed efficiency and the efficient growth and use of the resources. So currently we have a bull, Alpha, that's about 19 months old, and then some heifers that are about 14 months old. And we're kind of in a waiting period as they grow and develop normally, and then they'll be mated to each other, and then we're hoping then that their offspring might have a higher chance to produce those rare carcasses. Ultimately, then we would have some genetic testing as well. There's still a lot that we don't know about the bull because, and so he'll be mated to other cows, and we'll have an ongoing evaluation project where we collect information from the progeny and hopefully develop a new line of cattle that can produce high-quality beef more efficiently.
What does this mean for the cattle industry?
Well, that's hard to say. It's currently because the occurrence of prime and yield grade 1 and the feed efficiency is so rare, we would hope that it becomes less rare and we can produce high-quality beef more efficiently, and it become a more common occurrence that these exceptional animals exist. It's a time-consuming process, so right now we have 4 clones, so it'll be a while before we have a big impact on the industry, I would say.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much. We will be back with more News 1 after the break.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Bring this heat.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
This song was created with heartbeats of children in need. Find out how it can help frontline health workers bring hope to millions of children at everybeatmatters.org.
J.C. Good, a national speaker with the Hang Up and Drive program. Good spoke about distracted driving as part of WT's Allison Ford project. Good began her company to ban cell phones in her home state of Pennsylvania after losing her parents in a car accident where the other car was talking on the cell phone. The goal of the Allison Ford project was to raise awareness about the consequences of distracted driving. Ford was a WT student who died in a preventable distracted driving accident in 2012.
The honor lists for the fall semester of 2013 has been announced on WTAMU's website. In order to make the honor list, a student must have a GPA of 3.5 and above. Over 1,300 students' names were listed on honor lists. More than 500 students made it to the president's list, and over 800 students made it on the dean's list. The detailed lists can be found at wtamu.edu/academics.
Olympic gold medalist Jackie Joyner-Kersee will be coming to West Texas A&M University on Monday, March 24th as part of the Distinguished Lecture Series. The event will be held at the Legacy Hall of the Jack B. Kelly Student Center at 7 p.m. Joyner-Kersee is a 3-time Olympic medalist, 4-time world champion, while serving as an advocate for children's education, health issues, racial equality, social reform, and women's rights. The event is free to public, and the shuttle buses to Legacy Hall from First United Bank Center will be provided. WT recently opened a food pantry. The pantry opened on March 18th and will be available to all students on Tuesdays from 11 to 4. Money donations are accepted, but food is preferred. Donations are primarily being raised through Super Tuesdays, where you can receive a bowl of soup or 2 cans of food for $2. Student Body President Leif Knepper said he thinks it is a great opportunity for students to get involved, and he hopes it is something that will become part of WT's tradition.
The Canyon Chamber of Commerce now has a new executive director. Last Thursday, Cole Community Center hosted a meet and greet for Canyon native Roger Rimlinger. Though Rimlinger and his family have been in Arizona for the past 12 years, he says he is excited to finally be back home. Having only been executive director for a week, Melanie Garcia, administrative assistant for the Chamber of Commerce, says Rimlinger is already hard at work in the community, speaking with businesses and community members about his vision for the city of Canyon. Remlinger says he looks forward to adding more town hall meetings to his agenda and making Canyon a more proactive community. After the break, we'll have our last interview from the Prairie about WT's own communication department.
And we'll have more on the recent student government elections, too. We'll be right back.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzzed driving is drunk driving.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill.
I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back to News One. I'm Jenna Harrison, the editor of the Eternal Flame magazine at WT, and I'm here with Dr. Trudy Hansen, the head of the Department of Communication. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here, Jenna.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the Communication Department here at West Texas A&M.
Well, the Department of Communication is fairly new when you look at the number of years we've been in existence. In 2007, we became a standalone department, and before that time, we had two programs, the Mass Communication Program and Speech Comm Program, which later became Comm Studies, but they were part of what was called the Art, Communication, and Theater Department. So when we moved into the Sybil B. Harrington Fine Arts Complex, there was a year that passed, and after that, we became a standalone department, including both of those two programs, Mass Comm and Comm Studies. And since that time, we have grown in enrollment so that our enrollment of undergraduate students is the highest of the 5 departments within the college.
Okay, so tell me how the program has changed and improved recently.
Recently, we have, again, begun using new technology, and that is the important thing that we want our students to understand and be able to be using state-of-the-art technology with also the skills to work with people and understand what their needs are, to make good decisions when it comes to ethical decisions. We have implemented community service at all levels, but particularly in our first year freshman seminar class, as well as in our communication studies basic public speaking class. And the thing I think that characterizes all of the department, both in mass communication and in communication studies, is the connection with the community. And on any given weekend, one of the student organizations within our department is doing something. It might be helping out with the Mardi Gras fundraiser that happened recently, or it might be picking up garbage off of the street that they have been assigned to keep clean. And so this connection with the community not only combines the understanding that we are more involved with what happens to people on an everyday basis and not just the events that you might see televised or on media, but helping our neighbors every day.
Okay, tell me some new and exciting things that are going on within the program here.
Well, I'm not sure that they're new. They're continuing. But the exciting things that I think that we can look forward to, our National Broadcasting Society is going to be representing us at the national convention that happens in Los Angeles in just a few days. And they already have been notified of some wonderful awards. One of the things that we're very proud of, the One Session, which is a production that involves live acoustic music and then is produced and edited by our students, has been nominated for 12 different Telly Awards. And for that to happen in a regional institution is sort of unheard of, and we're very proud of that. Our advertising team is getting ready for their national competition, and last year they placed 8th in the nation. And again, that was against some schools that are much larger, Research One institutions, and yet our students were certainly holding their own. Our forensic students on Friday and on Saturday are going to be competing in district competition, and that will determine if they go on to nationals, and we're very excited about that. They have qualified 53 events already, and again, for our university to be represented at the national level with those number of events is just outstanding. And then we have things that happen on a regular basis. The storytelling class has just finished performances at the daycare center on campus as well as the Canyon Public Library. And interacting with children, sharing their understanding of storytelling has been a lot of fun.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what sets this department apart from other departments. What makes this department unique?
I would say it's the faculty and the interaction that faculty have with students. We recently were visited by the ACA accreditation team for our reaffirmation of our accreditation. And in their departing interview with me, the one thing that they said that made our department distinctive was the faculty and their preparation, their enthusiasm, and their involvement with students. And so I think it's that faculty-student interaction that sets us apart from other departments on campus, but also other departments across the nation and across the world. The idea that you not only know your teacher, but that person has become a role model and has also involved you in the learning process.
Mm-hmm. As a department, what do you see as the main purpose?
As part of our mission statement, the very tail end of the mission statement talks about what we hope that our students do, and it is connecting with their community and become lifelong learners. If we have created that spark within our students, wherever they go, whether it's further graduate study, in a role in industry, working with nonprofits, if they have that attitude and understanding of giving back, then we have been successful.
Okay, so we just recently completed Communication Week of 2014. I know I went to many events. So what do you think maybe was the most successful event?
Communication Week, I think this year, 2014, was perhaps the most successful year yet. The theme the students chose that planned the events was Find Your Voice. And whether it was students helping to dress their faculty as celebrities in Project Runway, or listening to former alum Kirk Scarborough talk about his experience with Teach for America, I think we found our voices. And that is so important in the 21st century, to understand not only the responsibility you have when you make statements or when you are supporting an event or promoting an event, but to find your own voice, to find your own opinion. And when you think about how students indeed engaged with that whole idea, whether it was the Sing for Your Lunch program or finding your voice when faculty members had to recognize students only by hearing their voices. That was kind of tricky for some of our faculty members.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time to come here and talk to us about this.
It was a pleasure.
We'll be back after this break.
Get your ass out. You're not in here. Yes, I am. Give it to him hard. No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help, but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
My daughter.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And and that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
At this time last year, President Nippers was running a campaign to become student body president, a campaign that took him to the top of the executive branch. Quays Wilbanks has more on the story.
Because of his senior classification, he may be president for just a year, but he has been involved in student government since his freshman year at WT, following in the footsteps of his older sister.
My sister, too, was a student here at WT, and she was in student government and student senate. And so I did what she did. I got involved in that way, and I wanted to be able to serve the students.
One of the biggest ways he is serving the students is still in progress, a food pantry to provide food and resources to students in need. Just one of the projects he hopes to complete before his term is up.
And then, too, the second major one that I'm really going to try and push for is forming a committee that focuses on WT's traditions and really trying to reassess what we do, things that we've possibly forgotten about, and resurrecting them, and really making sure that we're implementing them as new students are coming to our university and pushing for that.
Nippers hopes that the next student body president is just as committed and successful in representing students and West Texas A&M University. He also points out that the Student Senate has grown to its largest number of representatives, and that's why it's important to vote and elect somebody that you trust. And as for students voting,
I haven't thought about it at all, really, just because I've been busy with schoolwork. Okay. But it's a possibility.
I plan to be voting, if I get the chance, most likely.
But no matter what, when all the votes are tallied, President Nippers is proud of what he has accomplished.
I think the most important thing that for the president is to represent and serve the student body. And so that's been one of the most enjoyable things that I've had the opportunity to do, and to make sure that the student voice is being represented.
Reporting for News 1, I'm Quays Wilbanks.
WT's Department of Nursing is partnering with United Supermarkets to provide free health screenings. The screenings will be offered at 2 Amarillo locations during the months of February and March. Guests can stop by between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the United on 45th and Bell, or the Amigos on I-40 and Grand. Senior-level nursing students will provide the assessments. Instructor of Nursing Nancy Terubietz says this is an opportunity for students to gain real-world experience while helping the community.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the H1N1 flu continues to cause a lot of illness across the country, and WT is no exception. Student Medical Services reports a large number of students coming in with the flu. They say if you believe you have the flu, medication needs to be taken within 48 hours or it won't work. Students are encouraged to make an appointment with a clinic where they can make a diagnosis and prescribe medication to treat the flu as well as help control the symptoms. They also encourage students to get the flu vaccine. Although the flu isn't 100% preventable, there are steps to lessen the chances of getting it. Get plenty of rest, eat healthy, and avoid stress. That does it for our special edition of News 1 and the Global News Relay.
Be sure to stay tuned for the last 2 hours of the Global News Relay in England at the University of Salford.
For West Texas A&M University here in Canyon, Texas, and WTV's News 1, I'm Taylor Stroud.
And I'm Avery Taylor. Thanks for watching.